Alright guys, so yes, I bought an RX-7. So it's been a long time since I've posted to YouTube. I was supposed to make a video update, which I had started editing, and I had actually uploaded, but my computer is really old, and with the rate of inflation in the vehicles I have, I couldn't really afford much, especially because I had another job issue. It's pretty funny how I only upload after like my job issues, which makes it seem like I'm like always in some kind of chaos. But so basically I bought an RX-7. Long story short, my upload video did not really go up. I never had time to edit it because I had filmed so much, and I'm not really good at editing videos. I did try to edit it, and my computer just couldn't handle it with the software I was using. I used Vegas Pro 17, and my computer couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it. It was just too much. And oftentimes with Vegas Pro 17, I would have to save it. And I don't know if you guys are familiar. I don't know if this is how this works, but it seems to be the same as it was when I was younger. When I was younger, you used to have to save your videos after using a certain like level of computer. You'd have to do it strategically as you're editing it, because if you save it too much, it all gets stored in the RAM. It stacks basically. Like it stacks up on your RAM, and so then it ends up freezing your computer, and you have to restart your computer. And whatever progress you had from your last save, you would lose it. So that was happening to me on my current update video. It kept crashing, and so I'd have to keep redoing it. So I mean, to really edit, make a good edit while you're using some of the techniques you know, and to learn some things new at the same time, for me to put like a 4.5 minute like video clip, you know, it took me, like, there's a montage on my channel called Mousetrap 1, and that took me almost 5 hours, 4.5 hours to put together 4 minutes of video. So, and that was with no issues. That time I was not having these crashing issues as the software and my computer got older. So now my computer's a little older, and I'm on a new version of Windows, which everyone knows Windows sucks. So I couldn't upload it because I would just end up losing all my progress, and it made a already tedious process like completely, it's too long. And with these cars, I mean, with the cars and everything else going on, I just didn't have time to edit the video, because it would have taken me a whole week of just pure editing, you know, to put together this really long, like 30-minute video or whatever, you know. I have a lot of respect for people that do it. So anyway, I dragged that out, but long story short, I couldn't do it. Now I'm making this video because I can just upload this straight from my phone to YouTube, and I figured this will be my update video. So I'll put some clips up, because I can't edit on my phone. I'll put some clips up of my car in videos that are separate from this, just to make it simple. But I bought an RX-7, and here's the update. The reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because I got a 40-minute drive to work, so I got plenty of time, and I figured why the hell not. I can just film it and upload it when I get to work. I can't even use my phone at work, so it'll just upload in the background when I'm not doing anything else. So basically, I have an RB25, and I bought it because I wanted to do like a time attack thing. That's always been my goal, is to do like a time attack thing with my S13. But a lot of people don't know, I was gonna buy a GTR like before COVID, and I actually lost out on that because of the price jump. And I mean, I decided to hold off because I wanted to have a more stable income, and ended up coming back to bite me because I thought that the GTRs would jump in like maybe a year, but they jumped 2 months after my decision not to buy it. And so I had the one I was gonna buy. I was looking to finance it. I was at the bank. That one was 600 horsepower HKS full build from Japan, and it was for $26,000, $28,000 shipped to my door. So I ended up losing out on that. It was from a shop called Speedworks Northwest. Really cool guys to work with. I've not talked to them since I can't afford any of those cars. Like, I'm not even gonna try. So I mean, that's out of my price range by like 10 times, you know. So basically, I knew that after the GTR jumped, everything else was gonna start to jump, you know. And I was just making sure that video is still recording, you know, because that would have been really tragic if it wasn't. It would have been like, you know, having your video editing software crash on you, except it's like my own error. So anyway, I knew after the GTR went up in price, which is my dream car. Like, I mean, I've dreamt about that car. I mean, I've counted the years, like, since I knew it existed to when I knew it would become legal, you know? Since, like, I was very young and I saw it in Too Fast, Too Furious, you know, at the junkyard, and I was like, that one scene, I was like, man, that is, like, I mean, even when I was young back then, I knew that was everything that was, like, my thing, you know? So, yeah, I lost out on that, and I figured, man, I can just get another Japanese car and put the heart of my dream car in it, which obviously, RB26 is not, I don't have one, but I have an RB25, which to me, it's all the same. Like, RBs are just amazing, you know, especially when you look into their technicalities and whatnot. So, they have different functions, different power levels, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like, you just have something amazing that Nissan made. So, and plus I like rear-wheel drive. Like, you can't do much with all-wheel drive, in my opinion. You know, it's like really heavy, that system, the Tesla system. If I wasn't, I mean, obviously if you had an RB26, you'd be running with a lot of power anyway, but then, like, you wouldn't want to crash the car. So with an RB25, I don't care. I'll just swap it into something that I don't care about. And that's what I thought. But I actually ended up, that car really, like, I mean, I bought it, I bought the 240 because, to be honest with you, I was looking for an Integra, and the Integra thing didn't work. My neighbor ended up selling it to somebody else, and I needed a car to really get my mind off some things I was going through at the time. I wasn't really doing well, and I just needed to do something that wasn't like gaming or something, you know, all night, or, you know, and just not really making any progress on breaking away from the things that were really, like, just destroying me, which is all myself, like my own habits. So I knew I was looking for a car. I saw the Integra, and I wanted to buy one in Pennsylvania with the JDM front end swap, but I actually ended up finding a 240, and that one was also in Pennsylvania. That guy, I guess he just couldn't let go of it. It was an SR swap for like $6K. It was like perfect, low miles. This is before these things jumped up in price. It was pretty expensive still, $6K, but, you know, for like the condition it was in, it was a great find, I think. Especially because now, you know, that'd be an amazing price for like a good car. Everything you buy at $6K for S chassis is all rusted garbage now from some douchebag. So basically, I was gonna say, like, yeah, that guy couldn't let go of it, so I moved on to another one. I went to check it out, and I wish I could edit this video because I could put that on the screen, but I went to check out a black 240 with the RB20 in it, and it was awesome. I've never seen an old car with that little rust. I mean, it had absolutely zero rust on it. It was not like, you know, painted over or anything. It was just no rust at all. And the issue is that the RB20 in it, the guy was just doing like, oh yeah, my water pump failed. The water pump, and you take it out, it exposes like the inside of your your engine in some parts on the RB20. And he just had it lying out there, and it was raining all day. And like he just had the bumper off, and the rain was like on inside the whole thing. I was like, what the hell is this, dude? I'm not gonna buy this, you know? Anyway, so I didn't buy it. I moved on to the third 240. I liked it, but he had it listed for the same price, like $6,500. It was kind of in rough shape, but it was pretty clean. It had some rust, you know, and I was like, 65 is a lot. So I kind of just kept looking. But he ended up dropping it down to like, I don't know, 4,500, I think. I ended up buying the 240. So I bought that for cheaper than that. I lowballed him. I mean, I asked him how low he would go, and then I offered him that. So anyway, I ended up buying that thing, and the 240 was, as you guys know, it was moved away from me. Like, I had it moved away, not by my choice. Let me see if I just clicked something. Okay, I had it moved away, not by my choice. I'm gonna switch hands here. I'm gonna get sore after 12 minutes of that. It's a good workout though. So, switch lanes. Friggin' Dodge Ram owner behind me, dude. So anyway, yeah, so I had it moved away, and I was not really like it was just whatever. So I couldn't work on the car. I had the RB. That's all my context, by the way. That was a really long rant just for me to tell you guys that I bought the RB25 to race the S13. I thought the S13 was original, and I only bought it because I was gonna like lose out. I thought it'd be a Nissan. It was awesome. I knew someone from like 10, 11 years ago had one vaguely. I didn't really know these cars existed, right? Like a 240. I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. When I bought it, I really had no idea what it was, and I was planning on doing time attack with it. I didn't know that it's not a good time attack car. I mean, you can make anything a good time attack car if you put enough money into it, but the S13 would take a lot. So I still kind of want to do it, but that's for a later point. So I saw a video from this guy, Hakone Motorsports. Now, Hakone Motorsports, he has a FC RX-7, which I didn't even know existed at all. He has an RB25 in his RX-7. Now, when I saw that video, I didn't know it was an RX-7 from the Hoonigan. You guys some of you maybe have watched it. But I went to this, so when I bought the 240, I was working at Target, and somebody there found me, and he's like, hey, I heard someone in the store has a 240, is it you? So my coworker, his name is Julius, coolest dude, man. Everyone here is so cool, like in this drift community. So he told me, he was like, hey man, like, why don't you come out to this private S-chassis meet? It's just all of our friends, and it's only S-chassis mostly. At the time it was. And I saw an RX-7 there. Cut a couple months later, I finally ended up asking the guy there, I was like, hey man, can I sit in your car? And he let me sit in his car. It's a guy, Marco. I sat in his car because at this point I was trying to find an engine or a car to put my RB25 in, and I was leaning towards an E36 BMW, but I really wanted to keep it Japanese because I don't really like Euro cars. I don't think they fit my style. I don't like I just don't like, I couldn't imagine myself in one like that, you know? And when I sat in the RX-7, it was like, as soon as I put my butt on that seat, I was like, I knew I was gonna have one. I was like, this is perfect. This thing feels amazing. I feel like, it was like, you know, when you have an S2000 or a Supra, you know how that dashboard is like all pointing at you and stuff like that? It's like, wow, like this is, like it feels like it's an experience focused around me and the car coming together, you know? And when I sat in the RX-7, although the FC doesn't have that same kind of dashboard like pointing towards you, it has all these controls that, you know, the way they're designed, it's like for you to to use in such a, but you know, it's very unique. It has its own twist on it, and the dashboard, the height of it, the way you sit. I mean, I had the exact same feeling as if I was sitting in a Supra or S2000 or like a FD or something, you know? Yeah, I just knew immediately. I was like, this is the car I'm going to put my RB25 in. So I started looking. It took me a couple months, and I ended up finding one in Ohio that I went and drove myself to actually go look at. And it was snowing. I looked under the car, and there was really no rust. Like from like the trunk, like halfway, I guess I could say from halfway up the trunk, there was no rust, like zero. It was remarkable. You know, I had 99,000 miles on it, and I don't know anything. The issue is I don't know anything about rotaries. Well, what got me to go look at rotaries after I sat in Marco's car, I really wanted one, but I just knew, I was like, man, rotaries, like, you know, like who would want to do that to themselves, you know? Which is funny because, you know, apexes. So I talked to my buddy Kyle, and he was like, yeah, like people just don't know how to drive RX-7s. And you know, a lot of times you say things around someone who you like respect because you don't want to sound like an idiot. So I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, like they're like people don't know how to drive them. Yeah, they drive too fast or something. And he goes, nah, man, they drive too slow. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, dude, rotaries are meant to be driven a certain way or they're gonna break. If you don't drive them hard, if you don't redline it once a day or once a week or whatever, then it's gonna break on you. And I heard that, and I was like, this is exactly my kind of style, you know? It's not about power, right? It's about the whole experience, the driving experience, the style. I think a lot of people have like this idea of a fast car, and it's like, okay, fast cars are exciting, right? But it doesn't last after you lift your pedal, you know, after you lift your foot off the pedal. They're cool, but you know, these old cars, they're not about excitement. I think they're just about fun. You're having fun, and the whole experience is amazing, you know. And that's the genius behind it, is you don't have to have a fast car to have fun. I have more fun. I mean, the fastest thing I've ever driven is like a 900 horsepower Dodge truck, the Viper truck. I've driven a 600 horsepower AMG, 600 torque as well, and it was exciting, but I have more fun in these kinds of cars that have spirit. And that's what I enjoy about the Japanese cars, and you know, these ones in particular. So I fell in love with the rotary. I bought the car, and it turned out, of course, the engine's blown. So we didn't know, but the engine was blown, rotor is blown. I ended up, I mean, I have to make a whole separate video on this whole thing, because it's just insane. I ended up getting a new engine, and I just always had my heart. Everyone around me was always telling me, just fix it, pay someone to fix it, have your friends come over. But even right now, I mean, maybe I could still end up messing up the engine the way I'm trying to fix it now, because it runs now. But I'm just trying to like seal off some coolant stuff. I told them from the start, the reason I bought the 240 in the first place was so that I could work on it myself and put my time into it and get away from all these other things that I don't want. You know, and the car did hold me down for a long time, but I just never had it, you know? I mean, I didn't see it for 8 months, and it was too far away. So I ended up getting the RX-7. The RX-7 was the perfect beginner's car for, anyway, the circumstances that I was given, with like, you know, new engine, and I mean, they're not expensive. Like, they're, compared to 240s, they're so cheap. So now, I guess this is getting really long for a one take, but long story short, I bought the RX-7. I'm in love with rotaries. I'm in love with the whole thing. I'm in love with my 240, and I will never sell that thing. The RX-7 I could definitely see myself selling, but only because I know I can get another one, and I just appreciate it, you know. Like I don't know, it's weird. It's like I love the 240 in like a spiritual way, like almost a religious way, because it did help me with my religion almost. It helped me with my relationship with God. The RX-7 has been, I mean, honestly, I hope I don't grow too attached to it, because I'm kind of holding back, because this car really did give me my first car experience, you know, like my first project, my first kind of experience, because I mean, I did everything on it for the first time, you know, and I had a lot of help, but you know, the assembly portion of it was mostly me, and I sucked at it. But you know, it's like just one of those things where you're like, wow, like I'm just really grateful, and I don't want to grow attached to it, because I want to experience more, you know. I want to experience other RX-7s. I want to experience you know, other legendary Japanese cars, and the S13 has its spot in my life, you know. You know, that car is very special to me. I'm gonna have to baby that car until I get good enough to actually drive it without crashing, or drift it without crashing. So that's what the RX-7's for. They're great cars. I wish that it was ideal for someone to buy it. I think it's the perfect beginner's car for anything. I think it's the perfect beginner's car for another engine swap, for like a rotary. You know, if your rotary that you buy is blown, then you put another rotary in it. It's so simple. Small engine. You could lift it yourself or with a buddy. You can lift it yourself without any accessories. With a buddy, if it has all the accessories on it, you're going to need a friend, but you guys can lift it and take it out of the car without a hoist. I mean, it takes a lot of strength. It's not easy, obviously, but you know, I think, you know, it gives a perfect experience for old vacuum lines. If you get Mazda had better rust protection on their cars than Nissan. Nissan had like zero, like nothing. I don't know why they did that. It's completely insane. But you know, the Mazda interior parts are much higher quality because of the reputation the car has. Everything's cheap for it, but it's not really bad. I mean, if you buy a turbo model, then yeah, you're gonna blow the engine. But if you buy the rotary, if you buy an NA, then man, the NA models are actually surprisingly reliable, like extremely reliable, you know. And it is a car that you're gonna have to replace the engine a few times, maybe, right? If you don't drive it properly, and if you don't take care of it, and eventually you will have to replace the engine. But the engines are like $350, you know. So it's like you go there, they pick it out for you, you put it in your car, you and your buddy take it out, and you throw it in, you know. So it's like, you know, it's just a great experience, and you know, I'm just grateful for it. So that's my update. I'm getting close to work, and I think I have nothing else to say really. So mods, I'll make another video. Can't put it all in one video. I think this video has been like 20 minutes long, so I don't know who's gonna end up listening to this for 20 minutes, but it's really the only way. Like I downloaded another software to use other than Vegas Pro, and I uploaded a video using that software and processed it and everything, and I made sure nothing else was running. I cleared my RAM, and when I uploaded it to YouTube, there was no audio. So I was like, damn, now I gotta do all this again? It takes so long to process it on my computer, you know? So I just have not tried, and I feel bad because I knew there's a kid who I actually made another video like this about earlier, the one that I uploaded. His name is Chase White, and this kid wanted to see an update video, and I just never got to give him that, and I feel really bad. I know a couple people were asking about it, and I tried to upload one. Like I said, it didn't really fix, and I just don't have the time with like RX-7 and expectations and whatnot, you know. still live with my family, and there's a home business, and so the driveway needs to be cleared. And I didn't have money for, with the inflation, like I said, I don't have money for, I've even cut off some bills, I've tried to tone down some bills, and like some extra luxury stuff, like entertainment stuff. And I still couldn't afford like a tripod or whatever to put my camera on to film me working on the car, And this is a Galaxy phone, so damn, these guys are flying. Ah, yes, Euro trash. Anyway, no, I'm joking. European cars are cool, but they're just not that cool, in my opinion. They're not my style. So that's all. Sorry, Chase. Sorry, there's someone else who wanted to see my update. I can't remember. I'm really sorry, guys. I wasn't able to make this video. I know you guys have probably forgotten about all of this, but now you guys have an update video. So I hope you guys can sit down and enjoy my rant without anything but my face. And I will upload clips of my vehicle to YouTube. So for all the things I've been up to, I'll upload them. I might even try, since I don't have to make a whole update video anymore, I might even try to edit those clips together, since they're all pretty short clips. So thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next one.